Grew up around the dope dealers, cold-blooded killers. I just never hesitate to go and put a hold on you. Whole things, I done seen them whole things. Living life lavish.
Welcome back to the Mix28 YouTube channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. My previous video said that, the world was going to poop in a handbasket, especially America. Let's be real. America was already the poop at the bottom of the handbasket. Now we're just seeing how far down we can go. And the rest of the world is... I don't even know. I would love to be a foreigner right now. But unfortunately for us, those laughs are going to come at the cost of a lot of people's lives. And I know Republicans are going to say, well, if they were feeding off the tit of the federal government, then they deserve to die. Well, then you should go jump off a bridge yourself.
What did you say to me? I'm sorry. Shit.
Because you're feeding off the tit of the federal government. You flip on the light switch, you can thank the feds. Fill your gas up at the gas tank, you can thank the feds. Do you drive on the street or walk on the sidewalk? You can thank the feds. Everything you do literally involves the federal government, and not only are egg prices soaring, but we almost trimmed off the people who were going to, at least maybe possibly, unlike Trump's administration, alleviate some of that. Who might that be? Well, we're going to get into that. And also, apparently Ukraine could have ended the war involving its invasion, according to Trump 3 years ago.
What? Please, I'm begging you. Please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe.
And a lot of you MAGA cultists are going to get down on your knees, and as you gurgle on his left nut,
pause,
you're going to say, well, he's right. I feel like his nuts probably taste like a Big Mac.
Pause.
With the amount of McDonald's this man eats. That's like the one thing American that he does, is eat a crap ton of McDonald's. So DOGE has been doing these mass layoffs and buyouts across all of the federal government. This has led to impacts in several things that are currently like literally in the freaking public microscope right now. But Elon doesn't care because let's be honest, Elon is a petulant 5-year-old child with the intelligence of a newborn baby. Which is saying a lot because the man has produced a lot of babies. You'd think at this point he'd be, I don't know, slightly smarter than a baby. And also, to the women that are having sex with him, what was it? Like, what? Literally, what was it? This isn't like the point, but this is kind of reminding me of a situation that someone like me, who's unfortunately chronically online, has been asking for several, years about a YouTuber named Destiny, who looks like what I assume a retired hipster would look like if they never actually fit in the aesthetic, and also was a child predator. That's what Destiny looks like to me. And his goon squad can come after me all they want and try and get me blocked and this and that, whatever, because that's what they do. You're in a sex cult and none of you are having sex except for him, that says more about you than it does about me. Back to the topic on hand, the DOGE thing, their layoffs are hitting something very, very important. One, they hit the FAA when there's currently a crap ton of plane crashes that are happening. And yes, it's still safe to fly. I don't believe flying is unsafe. I just believe that currently flying is definitely being tested. But I believe the people within that field, specifically the people within that field that are not attached to anything remotely MAGA, are capable. But another department that is being affected, other than the FAA, USAID, the Forest Service, Rangers are being laid off, so you can't even go take your aesthetically cute pictures.
Oh no.
Two very important things. We laid off a shit ton of people who work with our nukes and nuclear energy. At whose recommendation? DOGE, of course. Elon, of course. A man who quite literally does not know anything about nuclear technology. And because that field is very, very specific and requires a crap ton of education, training, certifications, the whole 9 freaking yards, you can't just replace those people, or you can't just run one like it's a corporate company and go from a team of 50 down to 5 and just have it work. It doesn't work like that. These are nukes. But apparently they have gotten contact with those people and they are trying to let them know that they weren't laid off. To which I say, if I was those people, I'm saying this to everyone who's getting laid off in the federal government, don't come back. I know you just lost your job and all this stuff and it's very important and everything. File unemployment, whatever, get a gig job, deal with it a couple months working at a fast food joint or something. Don't come back. Make Republicans see what happens when you put your government on freaking life support intentionally. Don't come back until there is a change in leadership. And I know some people are going to say, that's drastic. That's a little bit much. Well, you know what? So is literally laying those people off in the fucking first place. In fact, that is more drastic and more stupid than them not coming back. But it also hit the avian bird flu researchers at the USDA. According to NBC News, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said Tuesday that over the weekend, it accidentally, what the fuck does that mean, fired several agency employees who are working on the federal government's response to the H5N1 avian flu outbreak. The agency said it is now trying to quickly reverse the firings. Maybe Donald Trump and fucking Elon Musk can go down there and in between sex sessions they can fucking develop a cure for the avian flu. Oh wait, Donald Trump is a dumbass and Elon Musk is just as big a dumbass. By the way, when are we deporting Elon again? He's a visa overstayer. Look it up, Republicans, he's a visa overstayer. When are we deporting his illegal ass? Although several positions supporting bird flu efforts were notified of their terminations over the weekend, we are working to swiftly rectify the situation and rescind those letters. Who in their right mind would get a letter telling them they were fired when that letter was issued at the directive of the world's largest 2-year-olds on planet Earth issued your firing? I wouldn't come back. If they want to pour gasoline on an already destructive flame, why in the fuck do we just let them? Like, this is insane to me that these things are being done. Egg prices are ridiculous right now, and part of the reason is the bird flu is running rampant through literally every chicken.
What?
And instead of being able to solve that, we accidentally, the federal government accidentally, normally when I hear the American government did something and the words accidental come to mind, I'm usually thinking of we accidentally used our Predator drone to blow up a bus full of people going to a wedding. We accidentally dropped napalm on a Vietnamese village. We accidentally fired on our own troops. Normally, when you hear the word accidental in the United States of America and it's coming from your government, it means something heinous as fuck done either to another country or to minorities. It's beyond buying the eggs at this point. If you bought the eggs, whether you can eat them. Because we got rid of the guys who are making sure you can eat them, which is just insane to me. Because Elon Musk is a horrible human being, and his partner in crime, Donald Trump, has the world's most overworked toupee this side of freaking human history. It gets just as dumber, but this time not really per se from Elon, right? This time it comes from Trump and his comments on the war in Ukraine and potential peace talks. Now, some people are going to say he's probably going to knock this out of the park because he got a ceasefire in Gaza before he was even sworn in, to which I say you're an idiot.
Hamas blames what it calls Israeli violations of the ceasefire, delaying Palestinians' return north, failures in facilitating humanitarian aid, and targeting Palestinians with airstrikes and gunfire. Yesterday, Israeli troops shot dead 3 Palestinians among a group that approached the Israeli-declared buffer zone in the north of the Strip.
You're an idiot because Israel is still bombing and attacking Palestinians. Trump is not going to handle Ukraine well at all. And I'm not saying that just because, he licks up and down Putin's dick. I'm not saying because he's being manipulated, promoted, and established in position. These are all things which were confirmed that Russia was interfering with the election. Sometimes Republicans say that, sometimes they don't. It just depends on who's sitting up there. This dude is being manipulated by this geriatric, old, sniveling testicle with lips. Who has always looked like a shriveled testicle with lips, sometimes shaven and sometimes unshaven. And Trump made this comment.
I think I have the power to end this war, and I think it's going very well. But today I heard, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. But they chose not to do it that way.
Now, if you're a Republican, you might say, you damn right. You should have ended that war. Zelensky stood us sitting here giving you all that money. Why'd you start the war in the first place? Well, if you, have the attention span of a fucking goldfish, Russia started the war.
1 year ago, Vladimir Putin launched what he called a special military operation. In reality, that was a full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
This happened 3 years ago. Trump's response is, why did you not end the war 3 years ago, and why did you start it? Russia attacked completely unprovoked. This motherfucker has a nerve, orange bag of baby dicks, to sit here and say Zelensky shouldn't have a seat at the table. Why is he complaining about not having a seat at the table? Yeah, generally speaking, historically, whenever a party is forced to accept a certain situation that is literally entirely about them and they don't have a seat at the table, that tends to come back and bite people in the ass. More specifically, the people who fucking set up the fucking negotiations in the first place and the deal. Orange golden boy who's fucking senile is going to bring peace to the world. I don't understand Republicans. I really don't. And to be specific, yeah, that is most definitely aimed at every last one of you MAGA nuts. Now, you might be selfish as fuck. Every human is selfish at some point. It's unfortunately, it is human nature to be selfish and human at certain points. However, for that selfishness to extend to the realms of things that either A, you don't understand, or B, won't affect you as much, if any, it's astounding because so many of you subscribe to the Christian religion. But if you can afford eggs right now, enjoy them. Just know there's a high likelihood you could get absolutely sick. Because this isn't a situation where it's like the airlines where you can trust the crew. Farmers, their job isn't to find cures for avian flu. Their job is to collect eggs. They leave the cures for avian flu outbreaks to, USDA scientists. And those people, they're currently trying to get in contact with after those people have already opened a letter informing them they're fired. Which was an accident, by the way. Just like it was an accident to lay off the people who handle nuclear energy and nuclear weapons. Just like it was an accident that Zelensky didn't end the war in Ukraine back when Russia invaded him. But that's just my thoughts on that. I'm Minx28. I'm curious what you think. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and, leave a comment down below of your thoughts over this. Do you think that the testicle, which is shriveled and has a face on it, is going to give Zelensky and Ukraine a good deal after they started a war with him 3 years ago by letting Russian tanks roll into their territory? Do you think that it's a good time to eat overpriced eggs? And do you think it's a good time to literally lay off the people who handle our nukes accidentally? God, we are such an unserious, stupid country. I'm just Mix 28, and I hope that these things turn around and this country gets back on the right track. And dear God, don't let us have a Chernobyl incident at any reactor facilities or anything involving nuclear energy or resources, or just, flat out nuclear bombs. But who am I kidding? We've had these accidents before, and that was when we were actually prepared for these things. Now we won't be. Fuck me.
Everything changed. I grew up around the dope dealers, cold-blooded killers. I can never hesitate to go and put a hold on you. Whole things, I done seen them whole things. Living life lavish. Different cars, same